In this exercise tutorial, I'm going to be taking you through just the first half of the Turkish get-up. So the first half of the Turkish get-up is an exercise in its own right. It can be put into conditioning programs, such as HIIT programs or circuit programs, as well as strength training programs as well. So when it comes to the first half of the Turkish get-up, it's every single part of the movement up until we're in a half kneeling position. We don't stand up, however, so if you're looking for the whole entire Turkish get-up movement, then go to another one of my videos where I cover the whole thing as opposed to just half of it. So when it comes to a Turkish get-up, you see people pick up kettlebells wrong all the time with this. So you don't want to come into a bad lazy habit where you come onto your back and you externally rotate the shoulder and then bring the arm up into this position. If you use that technique with a lightweight, you'll get away with it. You won't get away with that with a really heavy kettlebell because you'll get into a position where you're externally rotating the shoulder, putting a lot of shearing force and pressure through it as you come to internal rotation, and then you'll be creating an injury. So what I want you to do is the safest possible method of coming into the position, which is side lying. I've got my hand underneath the kettlebell handle. I bring my right hand over the top of my left, interlinking my fingers, and then I come back onto my back and then I start the exercise from there. So if you was putting it down, it'd be the exact same but in reverse. Now I'm going to show you the first half of a Turkish get-up on my right side so you can see best on the camera when I come into the full movement. So I'm in that position where I've got my fingers interlinked. I come onto my back. I'm then going to punch the weight up. So the weight is above my shoulder, wrist above shoulder. From here, whatever side that your hand is in contact with the kettlebell is the same side that the knee is going to come up. I then come into a diagonal position with my opposing arm. And what I want to do now with that opposing arm that's completely straight to the side in that diagonal position is I want it to now come into a bent elbow position. And then I'm going to come up to a hand only in contact with the floor position. So I'm always going to look at the kettlebell. So I come into my first motion, that elbow in contact with the floor, and then hand. Now my hips come up, and I'm going to feed the leg that is straight through the gap, always looking up as I then come up into my half kneeling position. Now in this position, still looking at the kettlebell, I'm going to reach for the floor, it will be there. Back to straight leg position, back to elbow, all the way down. If I then wanted to put the weight down, I'd then bring the elbow down first, hands interlink, and roll over. So that would be how to do the first half of a Turkish get-up movement. You can do that and repeat that for your desired amount of sets and repetitions, and make sure you do an equal amount on both sides.